Hello beautiful beings, how are you today? In this video we are going to talk about my 2020 vision board that I made last year, and we're gonna reflect and talk about it. But before we get into that video, of course I'm gonna pull an oracle card for you today. Today I have the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Here are your cards. Do me a favor, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. We're gonna ask what the message is for today. Whenever you're seeing this video, of course, this card is meant to be for you. This is a timeless reading. And like I always do, I'm gonna split the deck in half. And this is your card for today. Mountains, stand your ground. And this is your message for today. Hold firm to what you believe in or are focusing on, because it is absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the Great Mother and reaches high to the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. You are resilient and grounded, and the energy and the air of the mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to be who you are. Take time to root yourself deeply in the energy of earth before welcoming in energies of heaven. If you're not sure what to do next, the mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are. Talk things over with those around you and know that change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation and will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. Stand your ground. As usual, I am sending you a lot of luck and love during your spiritual journey. I know it can be tough, and we're nearing the end of the year. Whatever you had planned, don't be disappointed. Know that you followed your intuition and know that you are on the right path, so don't worry about it. Just stand your ground. Alright, let's get into the video. So like I said, in today's video, we are going to talk about my 2021 vision board. I also call it a manifestation board, whatever you guys want to call it. And we're going to look through it and see what happened, what didn't happen. I like to do these things at the end of the year because it's a good reflection to what your year had to offer and to see if we followed through or didn't follow through. So before I get into showing you what my vision board looked like, I'm going to tell you what a vision board or a manifestation board is. It's basically a collage of photos, words, quotes, anything that you would like to put on the board for visualization to help you with your goals or achievements that you want to have. Now, people usually tend to do like a lifetime vision board, which is a vision board that they kind of like put everything that they would want to achieve in their lifetime. But last year I made a year vision board to kind of see where I could achieve within last year or this year. We're still in 2021. So in this year, to see if I can achieve any of those things, and if not, that's totally fine. I have my rest of my life. So all those words, all those pictures are supposed to inspire and motivate you at the beginning of the day, because it's a reminder of what you want. So whatever you can do to achieve those things is your motivation for the rest of the day, and that's something that you would have like on your wall to be reminded of when you wake up in the morning. I would also like to say, before I show you my board, I would like to put a disclaimer out there. So I was supposed to hang up this board in my room, and I have failed terribly. I've tried tape, I've tried command strips, everything, but it always fell to the floor and I didn't know what to do with it. So what I did with my vision board is I kind of stuffed it in between my dresser in this corner, so I didn't get to see it every day. Maybe the first week or two I had it out like laying on the side of the wall, but it was getting in the way and I didn't want it to get ruined, so I kind of stuffed it in between my dresser, and I totally forgot about the vision board until recently. So I pulled out the vision board and I looked at it and I was pretty amazed. And we'll go through like why I was amazed. But I was pretty amazed because this is something that you're supposed to have on your wall and look at every day to motivate you so you'll be able to do those things. And somehow I did those things. And yeah, I just want to put that out there because just the act of making a vision board is probably just enough subconsciously to help you kind of organize what you want to do within the year. Now that I said all that, let's get into how my vision board looks. So this is my vision board. You can't, this is the whole board. It's a big board. I'm gonna pull back a little bit so we can look at it more. So this is my vision board entirely. It is really beautiful, I think. I worked so hard of it about the same time last year. And let me show you what I meant by me trying to figure out a whole bunch of ways to post this up on my wall. My wall is matte, so it's kind of harder to post these things up on the wall. But yeah. So in the back, you can see that there's like tacks. That didn't work. See the tacks? That didn't work at all. And you can also see the string right here to hold it up because I use command strips, and that didn't work at all because my wall sucks. So I had to lay it against the wall, and then eventually I stuffed it in between my dresser and the wall. So yes, I completed this vision board around the same time last year in December. And I would like to say before we get into each category and talking about it more, that I opened my Etsy shop, my jewelry Etsy shop, after I had made this board. So that's something to keep in mind, and you'll see why. As you can see, this fits the definition of a vision board or a manifestation board. We have a whole bunch of different photos. We have quotes. We have more photos. We have different words of inspiration. And yes. So let's get into this board and go through each category, and I'm going to talk and reflect on it. So starting with this photography corner, as you can see, it says photography. This corner was supposed to be for portrait photography, right? I am a photographer. Way before I started my YouTube channel, I was a photographer before being a YouTuber and also before creating my jewelry. So I took a lot of awesome portrait photography photos because I love taking pictures of people. And this corner was supposed to represent me really getting back to my roots and really start taking photos again because of what happened, last year. We was unable to really meet people in person. And people were afraid to meet in person. I wasn't really afraid, but people were afraid. So this was, because I was hoping that this year would line up, and it did. So I was hoping to get back into my roots of portrait photography. That's why you see 2 of my self-portraits, because I also wanted to work on self-portraits on here. I also have some beautiful quotes. Let's see, let's read this one. Photography is the story I failed to put into words, because that's exactly how I feel about photography. Now, did this happen? Not really. I booked 3 clients. 3 clients during, what happened last year. And I was grateful for those clients. I love those clients so much. Thank you if you guys are watching. It means a lot that you booked those sessions with me. But did I really get into it throughout the year? Did I really get into and really focus on this? No, I didn't. But what's amazing is that, I didn't take photos of people, but I took photos of my earrings and taking photos of of my earrings to put on Etsy. So I did really focus on that throughout the year. And you can see some of the photos if I put them up. I'm really proud of those. I think they're beautiful. It's my first time doing any type of like item photography. I know there's a specific word for it, but I can't remember right now. So yeah, and then there's the word art, creating art with jewelry and crystals and creating art with photos. It really helped. So yeah, that's this section. And I just want to say that it really surprised me because I did end up, doing a lot more than I thought I would do. So this next section right here is spirituality. Now, what this section represented is staying true to self and also learning to become what my higher self wants me to be, what I want to be. So that's why you see, I have some yoga quotes here because at the time I was doing a lot of yoga, namaste. I have the word beautiful because I want to really push self-love. So that's what this section is. And basically just being balanced and being true to self. This is what this section represented to me. So this past year I had a hard one. It was really hard to stay true to self. There's a lot of noise happening and it was hard to focus on what you believed in, what's your truth. It was hard to stay to my truth. And it was hard because I was afraid to know what people thought about me, it scared me. And to be true to self is, to not care about those what other people think about you. So a lot of my beliefs and what I thought was true, what I know is true, didn't really, coincide to other people's ideals and beliefs, okay? So I was really surprised this year that I stood my ground with the world being so noisy, everybody giving their own opinions about something, people not doing their research, and me doing my research. I learned to stand my ground and stand in what I believe in. And, when you stand your ground and stand what you believe in and you have the facts to prove, not a lot of people, especially people that, I thought were friends, not a lot of people will support you. And that's okay. To me, that's okay. Because as long as you are true to self and, you fight for what you believe in, that's all that really matters. Because that's all that's really going to make you happy at the end of the day. Never rely on anything external. Always rely on things internal. So I was staying true to myself because that's what I believed in, and that's all the research that I've done pointed to that. Yet most of society was saying something different, and that's okay, right? So I lost some people who I thought were friends, but in reality they weren't my friends. They were my friend. They wanted me around because I, at the time, didn't really stand up for what I believe in. I kind of was like a yes man, and I didn't have facts or anything to kind of like say, hey, maybe it's this and not that, and I was like, okay, I listened to them a lot. And the moment I started saying something different is the moment they were like, whoa. So they were around me because I kind of boosted their ego, right? Whenever they wanted to prove a point, they'll turn to me and I'll be like, because I didn't know anything. I was uneducated and I didn't educate myself. So for me to educate myself and staying true to myself and true to what I believe in, that turned them off, and they hated that, right? They I think turned me into what they think is an enemy. And I'm a type of person that believe in critical thinking, diverse thought. I love different opinions. I love different thought. I would ask you a whole bunch of questions to see why you think that way or why you think something's right. and I will give my opinion, and I love playing devil's advocate. I love to see two perceptions, and I love talking about two perceptions, two sides, and just having a friendly debate and a friendly talk about it. But a lot of these people felt triggered. They felt triggered because, they knew me as a person that agreed with them all the time, and now is offering a different perception for them, and it shook their reality. And people get uncomfortable, and they thought I was an enemy. So that's what happened. So I didn't lose friends. I lost people who had me in their life because I said yes to them all the time, and because I agreed with them without knowing what I was talking about. So I really developed spiritually during this past year, staying true to self, and really realized that true friends see past differences and opinions. I have other friends who have different opinions and have differences, and I love them so much. I also agree with their thoughts and see why they think that way. I offer them different opinions, and they love that also. So true friends, you could believe one thing and then the other person could believe another. Real love and real peace, you'll see past that, because that's somebody's beliefs, and somebody else did the research, and the amount of people that I've enlightened saying, hey, look at this. I know you believed in this, but look at this, and question it, question things. So now I question things, and I lost people in my life who I thought were friends but weren't, and I am super grateful for that. I'm super grateful that I was able to stay true to self, and to be even talking to you guys right now and express how I felt during this year is, it's a blessing. So moving on, the next section I have is a house section. That's all this right here. So obviously, I would like to mention that some of these are short-term goals, so like involving self, or like ongoing goals. So this would be involving self, and this would be a short-term goal. And some of these are long-term goals. I wanted to mix it up in there because, yes, this is a year vision board, but it's important to highlight certain things that you would want. Maybe if you could, you never know. I could have gotten this in a year. You don't know that. But, obviously, I didn't. I still live in my New York City apartment. That's totally fine. It's still on here. It's still in manifestation. It's coming. So, yes, this is my house section. I want a greenhouse. I want a beautiful A-frame house. I want a land that is easy to cultivate, beautiful grass. I'm able to have a whole bunch of land. That's really important to me. So I put this on here, and it's still on here, and it's still on my manifestation. So we'll keep that in mind for next year. So the next section that I have is kind of small because, there's not a lot of photos I can do with that. But also, I like to mention that you notice that each categories, there's photos that I like and what I envision things of into those categories. So whenever you're making a vision board, that is something that you should do as well. So yes, right in the center we have stocks and investments. The main topic is investments. The subcategory is stocks. So currently I hold some stocks in cryptocurrency, and I think one stock in just like regular stock. So I was able to invest in those. And then my other investment was taking money that I had and investing it into buying materials for my jewelries. So there's a lot of money that you have to put up front, obviously, to make crystal jewelry, handmade jewelry for your consumers. So I had to invest my money into that to produce products to then sell and then get money back in return. So that was part of my investment. And once again, this was, my crystal jewelry was something that happened after I made this board and tucked away. So I didn't get to see this, and just to see that I invested into something like that is like, subconsciously I was aware that I was investing into things like that. So down below is my yearly income. So obviously it says 4 million. This is one of the long-term goals. So yes, my income is 4 million. It's my long-term goal. So that's gonna stay up there, obviously. Right behind it, I have the tree of life that represents us in nature. So I had it to have. I had to have this on there. Right below, I have grounded here at the root of the tree because it's really important to stay grounded. This is something that I had wanted to keep in mind and put on the board to look at every day to remind myself to be grounded. Is always important to be grounded, right? Majority of the year I was very grounded. Obviously, we're all not perfect. We have our moments. There are sometimes I'm not so grounded. So that's why I wanted this board on here so I could look at it every day and be like, okay, I have to be aware and stay grounded. But obviously I didn't have this on my wall. So, I'm glad that I was able to do that and align my chakras, so that's why that's on there. So the next big section right here is health. Right here I have, a girl who's fit. I have beautiful hair. It says right here in quotes, drinking water is essential to healthy lifestyle. That is true. Drink your water every single day. At least a gallon. Did I drink a gallon every day? No, I did not. No one's perfect. Leave me alone. Yeah, so this section right here is really big for me because this is another section that subconsciously I was working on this whole year. So I started drinking chlorophyll. I started drinking C60. I started drinking probiotics. I started drinking just a whole bunch of different stuff that I was lacking in my nutrition, and I was putting it into my health. In return, my hair was healthier, my skin was healthier. That's another thing. It just popped up. So part of health obviously is skin. I was able to build a new skin routine that I absolutely love, and look at my skin, it's so beautiful. Obviously I have other hormonal issues that I still need to work on, whether it's acne or I can't control the acne for hormonal issues, but there's other hormonal things that I also need to work on. But it is definitely a lot better than when I did this last year, right? So I was working out, doing yoga in the beginning of the year. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the next section because I end up falling off those things. And that's okay. That's totally fine as long as you get back to it eventually, So hopefully I'll get back to that eventually. Another thing is that my hair health has gotten so much better. I've been using hair protein masks, hair masks, hair oils, really taking care of nourishing my hair, and my hair has gotten thicker. And I know if you guys have seen my Etsy video, I talk about some of the things that I put in my hair now that I share in that video. So I'm really glad that subconsciously this is what I was doing. Like, I didn't even have to look at this all day. That's exactly what I was doing. Now, the next section is the section that kind of stunned me the most. And you'll see why. So, the next section that I have is spiritual and yoga influencer. Yep, that's what it says. So right here I have the YouTube button, I have the Instagram button, because I was doing at the time, doing a lot of videos on yoga. I was doing a lot of yoga content because that's what I was doing most of the time during lockdown. And these are poses that I wanted to achieve that I haven't achieved yet because, again, I fell off of yoga. So this section really, at the beginning of the year, didn't hold any significance, I wasn't producing any content in yoga. I wasn't doing yoga. But what surprised me is that it says yoga and spiritual influencer, right? I'm not trying to be an influencer. I know certain things and I want to share with you guys and educate you guys, obviously. But where are you guys watching me right now? You're watching me on YouTube, and I have an Instagram for this YouTube as well, and I've been posting and producing content for well over 4 months, almost 5 months I think now in December. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been working on subconsciously, and it's on the freaking board. And at that time, I had no clue I was going to do something like this. So to produce and to have you guys here, this is, you guys are proof that our channel, we made this channel, you know, and me talking to you guys and the amount of subscribers that we have now is thank you guys for supporting our channel. This is not just my channel, this is our channel. And you know, it's just amazing to see that on the board, because who would have thought? Maybe my higher self. I didn't think so though. So the last section that I have here is a travel section. So of course last year, everybody knows what happened last year. We couldn't, in 2020, we couldn't travel. We couldn't go anywhere. But this is always going to be on my board, because I'm always a person who wants to travel. So right here I have like Hawaii, I have hiking, Paris, I have, you know, some beautiful, beautiful scenery, airplane. I didn't really care to where I go. That's why you don't really see a specific name of a place to go. You do see the Paris, and I do know that that's Hawaii, because I love Hawaii. But you know, there's no specific place to go, and that's because I was willing to go anywhere. I'm a person who loves to travel, and I will always travel. So luckily, I've been blessed this year, 2021, to not be able to go to one place, but to two places. The first place I went to, I think, was in early April, and I went to Puerto Rico, back to my family roots. There I saw my beautiful family, and then I also glad that I had one of my best friends, Victoria, come along with me as well. We enjoyed our time. We enjoyed Puerto Rico. It was an adventure. We went to Puerto Rico for a whole week. The hotel we stayed at was beautiful. I really enjoyed my time, and I'm really blessed that I was able to go see my family and go to Puerto Rico and just enjoy my time. So my second trip that I went to was the Free State, Florida, and I enjoyed my time. I met with my soul sister, my spiritual soul sister, Julia. If you're watching this, I love you so much. Thank you for, you know, taking us all over. I really enjoyed my time. Florida was amazing. I miss it. Thinking about it now, like I truly miss it, and I hope I'm able to travel again next year. But yes, travel there again next year to Sikkim. So I also went with Victoria again, and I went with Sasha, who is my other best friend, who has a YouTube channel. So if you would like to see me in Florida, see us in Florida, you can go to her YouTube channel at Sasha Suede. I will link it down in the description below, so you can see all the wonderful adventures that we went to in Florida. We went to Disney. I had so much fun. I cried, if I'm being honest. I did cry. You know, just realizing how blessed you are, and realizing that I was able to freaking afford Disney was just, I wanted to cry. I truly wanted to cry. That's it for my vision board, my manifestation board of 2021. Just looking at this, I'm truly proud of myself, and I'm really blessed to experience things that I experienced this year. It really made me stronger as a person. It really made me aware of my body, and you know, really explore myself. I think this is amazing. What's even crazier is that I followed 99% of this board without even looking at it, every day. I had it tucked between my dresser, and I was able to do majority of these things right in front of you. That's amazing. It just shows how subconsciously, you know, you're doing this, and you're putting all these things together, and it takes hours to do so, right? And you're putting it all together, and just subconsciously you're embedding this into your head. And it really showed that I followed my intuition. I followed what I wanted. I was able to get what I want. And this is proof. This is proof. This was made in December of 2020, and I'm here now talking to you in December of 2021, telling you that I was able to do 99% of these things, and maybe not exactly the way I wanted it, like the photography, but it was even better. So being able to follow my intuition and knowing subconsciously that I did this is amazing. It's truly amazing. So I would definitely recommend you guys to make a vision board for 2022. Ooh, it's so weird to say that. Make a vision board for 2022, or you can make a yearly vision board, or sorry, like a lifetime vision board. That's what I meant. A lifetime vision board as well, whatever is easier. So yeah, definitely make a board of your own, and you guys might want to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Put your notifications on, because I am going to make a video on how to make a vision board. So if you don't know how to make a vision board, there's going to be a video coming up next for you. I love you guys so much. You guys have truly made my year, and it means so much that so many of you guys, we're already at 90 subscribers. So many of you guys are subscribing to this channel and loving this channel so much. It really makes me happy and proud that we built this together. This is our channel. This is our family. This is I'm not judging you. I love you guys, and you guys, this is a judgment-free zone. Like, you guys aren't judging me, you're just taking information. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. For those who are new to me, please like, comment, and subscribe. And the returning ones, please like and comment. I love to hear your comments as always. I am sending you guys a lot of love and light as usual. I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week, amazing month. Happy holidays. And I will see you later.